I'm going to tell you in this video why CurQ, or Curiosity Quotient, is more important than IQ, Intelligence Quotient, and EQ, Emotional Intelligence. Hello, I'm Elliott Caldwell, the co-founder and CEO of the Rise Collective, a low 9-figure business that's only 3 years old. Most people don't fail because they're not smart enough. They don't fail because they lack discipline. They don't even fail because of bad luck. They fail because they stop being curious. Today, I want to introduce you to something I believe matters more long-term than IQ, EQ, talent, or hustle. It's called Curiosity Quotient, or CurQ. If you ever wondered why some people keep winning decade after decade, why some businesses adapt while others die, why some leaders keep growing while others peak early, it almost always comes back to CurQ. In this video, I'm going to break down what Curiosity Quotient actually is, how it differs from IQ and EQ, why CurQ is the ultimate long-term advantage, how CurQ applies to business, investing, leadership, and life, and how you can deliberately increase your CurQ starting today. This is not theory. This is real-world performance psychology. Let's start with the basics. Let's talk about IQ first. IQ stands for Intelligence Quotient. IQ measures your raw cognitive ability, how fast you process information, how well you recognize patterns, how well you reason, analyze, and solve problems. IQ shows up in test scores, academics, strategy, systems thinking, and complex problem solving. High IQ people often learn quickly, see patterns others miss, understand abstract concepts, and build sophisticated systems. IQ is valuable. It matters. But here's the truth most people won't say out loud. IQ has diminishing returns. A high IQ can get you into the room, but it doesn't keep you there. And it definitely doesn't guarantee long-term success. I've met incredibly intelligent people who can't lead teams, can't handle conflict, can't adapt when the environment changes, and get paralyzed when certainty disappears. IQ without growth turns into arrogance, and IQ without humility turns into stagnation. Which brings us to EQ. EQ stands for Emotional Intelligence. EQ is your ability to understand your emotions, regulate your emotions, read other people, communicate clearly, build trust and influence. EQ shows up in leadership, sales, negotiation, parenting, marriage, team dynamics. High EQ people know when to push and when to pause. They can read the room. They don't let emotions hijack decisions, and they know how to build loyalty and trust. EQ is what turns intelligence into influence. Here's the key point. EQ allows you to work with the people. IQ helps you think. EQ helps you connect. But here's another uncomfortable truth. You can have a high IQ and a high EQ and still become obsolete because the world changes. Markets change. Technologies change. Customer behavior changes. Cultures change, which brings us to the most underrated trait of all. Curiosity Quotient, or CurQ, is your capacity and willingness to learn continuously. CurQ measures how often you ask questions, how open you are to being wrong, how fast you update beliefs, how willing you are to explore outside your expertise, how you respond when certainty disappears. CurQ is not about intelligence, it's about intellectual humility. High CurQ people don't say, I already know that. They say, that's interesting. Tell me more. CurQ shows up when your business model stops working. Your industry shifts. A younger generation does things differently. Technology disrupts what used to work. Curiosity is what keeps you relevant. And here's the most important line of this entire video. Success without curiosity always expires. Let's talk about time. In the short term, IQ gives you speed. EQ gives you leverage. In the long term, CurQ gives you survival and dominance. The people who win for decades aren't the smartest. They're not always the most charismatic. They're the most curious. They study new markets. They learn from younger people. They ask dumb questions without ego. They constantly experiment. They kill their own assumptions before the market does. Curiosity keeps leaders from calcifying. The moment someone says, this is how it's always been done, they're already behind. CurQ protects you from arrogance, complacency, ego-driven decisions, outdated playbooks, and ego is the enemy of curiosity. In business, CurQ shows up everywhere. High CurQ founders obsess over customer behavior. They study adjacent industries. They test new ideas before they're forced to. They ask why competitors are winning. They question their own success. Low CurQ founders, they defend old systems. They blame the market. They blame the employees. They blame the economy, and they refuse to adapt. Here's the difference. Low CurQ ask, how do I protect what I've built? And high CurQ ask, how do I evolve what I built? Every great business eventually outgrows its original model. Curiosity is what allows reinvention. As a leader, CurQ might be your most important trait. High CurQ leaders ask their team what they're missing. They invite disagreement. They learn from people below them. They don't confuse authority with certainty. They create cultures of learning. Low CurQ leaders need to be right. They shut down questions. They fear being challenged. They punish curiosity. And they create stagnant cultures. Curious leaders build curious teams. Curious teams adapt faster. They innovate more. They retain talent longer. Curiosity creates psychological safety. Here's the good news. CurQ is trainable. You increase your CurQ by reading outside of your industry, by asking what's missing, by talking to people who disagree with you, letting younger people teach you, replacing certainty with experimentation, rewarding questions, not just answers. One simple habit: after every win, ask what assumptions made this work. After every loss, ask what didn't I understand yet. Curiosity compounds. Let me leave you with this. IQ determines how fast you learn. EQ determines how well you lead. But CurQ determines how long you stay relevant. Talent opens doors. Curiosity keeps them open. If this video challenged you, helped you, or gave you language or something you felt but couldn't articulate, do 3 things. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. I want to know, where has curiosity helped you win? Or where did you lack a curiosity that costed you? I'll see you in the next one.